meet you now.
Hi, how are you? Can you see me all right?
Yeah, I can see you perfect.
Sweet.
How are
Finally.
you?
I'm good. I'm
Good,
good. How are
good.
you?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. Very excited
Good.
for this interview. Can I
Yeah, it's
just
no problem.
say, so thank you so much for taking your time to speak with me today. I really
Nah, it's
appreciate
all
it.
good. It's all good. It's cool.
Okay, so let's introduce you. So, Shocka, you're a
Yes.
mental health advocate, an
Yep.
artist, a
Yep.
writer, a
Yep.
poet, a public
Yes.
speaker.
Yeah.
And congratulations is in order because you've just signed to a big agency as well. So
Yes.
congratulations for that.
Yes. It's an agency called No Gay. They're amazing.
Okay, brilliant. And what does that mean now from you? Does it mean more?
They're gonna be getting me. Oh, they got me something yesterday. Actually, they're gonna be getting me like partnerships and
Oh,
yeah,
amazing.
and speaking engagements and just all sorts of stuff. So I didn't
Okay.
realize how important it is to have an agency.
Okay.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
think you can do everything on your own, but now I'm realizing that like you
They
need
just
a team.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
open doors for you
They open
and
doors that I could have never opened. Like
oh,
they brought me
fantastic.
something yesterday and like I would have never thought of it. Yeah, ever.
Oh my
I would
gosh.
have never thought of it ever.
Oh, well, all the best with it. I hope it goes really well.
Thank you.
And so
Appreciate
I've
it.
I've read your book.
Oh yes.
I
Yes. Have
read
you finished
it.
it? Have you finished
Yes,
it?
I
Yeah,
read it
well
in
done.
a day.
Everyone
I
keeps saying that like they can't put it down once they start it.
It is amazing. It's
Thank
so
you.
personable, and the way you've written it, it feels like I know you already. It's
Yeah.
just great. So all the listeners definitely go and get this book. It's absolutely amazing. But we'll
Thank you.
talk about this a little bit later. But I just wanted
Yeah, for
to
sure.
talk mostly about to or begin with about you and your mental health and your
Mhm.
diagnosis because you have been
Yeah.
diagnosed with is it paranoid schizophrenia or
Yes.
schizophrenia?
Paranoid schizophrenia.
Paranoid schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
when were you diagnosed?
So when I first got section, I got diagnosed with manic depression.
Okay.
It was the second time that there was that, no, this is not manic depression. This might be a bit deeper. Then I got diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia.
Oh, what was the difference? Like with your
The
mentality with the
difference
manic?
between so manic depression was just me literally being manic and
Yeah.
um being oh, how can I explain it? Obviously manic is when like you're, you know,
Overexcited and
overexcited
yeah.
and but like whereas the schizophrenia diagnosis was different. That's when like you're hearing voices and
Yeah.
delusions and that's a bit deeper.
Did you understand it when they diagnosed you?
I didn't understand it. I'm only now starting to learn a bit more about the diagnosis through like podcasts like me and you speaking and hearing
Yeah.
other people's stories. At that time, I had no idea what they was talking about.
Oh, okay. And did so you did
I only knew it from like the black community side
yeah.
of like it maybe being something possessive or something spiritual. It's like I didn't know it from like the clinical side of like it might be symptoms of like maybe stress or
Oh,
that
okay.
triggered the voices or like, do you know what I mean? I never knew it from that side. So
Is
I'm
it
learning about it from all sides.
yeah, so when were you diagnosed?
That was 2014.
Okay, so, and you're still learning about it because
And
it's an
it's an
ongoing,
ongoing thing. No one has
yeah.
never sat me down and spoken to me about schizophrenia. I barely meet schizophrenia patients because
Oh,
like
okay.
there's levels to schizophrenia. There's like the level that I'm at, which I think is pretty mild
Yeah.
because I can still conduct myself and still live my life.
Yeah.
Then there's like the extreme cases where like they can't even come out into society because it's that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the cases that most people know about.
Yeah.
I'm like a rare case to have been able to been sectioned 4 times and gone through what I've gone through and still be in this condition.
You're
But it's not
amazing.
it's not normally like this.
You're
Yeah,
you're a beacon of hope
yeah,
because you kind
appreciate
of
it.
like people would go towards you for your strength. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
you're
I get a lot
inspired
of messages. I get a lot of messages.
and you're so
And I try to help.
inspiring.
No, thank you.
And
Thank you.
so were you so you hadn't come across paranoid schizophrenia before? Had you known anyone with paranoid schizophrenia
Never,
before?
never, never. I've seen a lot of people on the streets though. You know,
Okay.
when you see people on the streets like talking
Yeah.
to themselves or like,
Yeah.
behaving in certain ways.
Yeah.
But that's probably paranoid schizophrenia, but that's the
Yeah.
closest I've seen it. but I
Okay.
didn't know that was paranoid schizophrenia. I just thought like
Oh
in the
yeah.
area I come from, we just know it as like he's lost his mind or he's gone
Yeah.
crazy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know that that's the actual clinical term that oh, this person's probably got paranoid schizophrenia,
Yeah.
and there's something that led that person there. We forget about that journey to lead them there. They
Yeah.
didn't just start like that.
Yeah.
You get a rare few cases of people that's actually born with like severe mental health illnesses. Normally, something triggers it. It's like someone died in their family, or they went through a bad breakup, or they had an alcohol or um,
Drug
drug
depends.
addiction.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's usually things that lead them there. They don't just you
Okay.
don't just see them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people
Yeah.
don't care to even ask those questions. They just judge them.
What
Whereas
what
that's what I'm trying to change. I'm trying to get people to like try and, look
what
deeper and think.
what
Yeah, go
triggered
on.
it for you? Sorry.
For me, it was music first,
Yeah.
which I spoke about in the book, losing my record deal.
Yeah.
That was the first catalyst. That was the first time I felt that amount of pressure and
Yeah.
stress. I think stress is a big catalyst for
It's
like all mental,
massive.
yeah, for all mental health issues. But depending on your gene type or how you are, it will dictate what issues get triggered from that stress.
Yeah.
So for me, I got triggered into like schizophrenia and manic depression. Some people get triggered into like, I don't know, a breakdown or something else, but it just depends what kind of person you are. And
Okay.
like, which I explain in the book. The reason why I got triggered into all these things is because um, I never had no adversity growing up,
Okay.
which I mentioned. Everything was like smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Like being the only child, getting all the clothes I wanted, getting all the
Yeah.
games I wanted. Everything was just so easy. So when you get hit with something so big, of course it's gonna like trigger you and like
Yeah. It's just
bring out all
so
different sides because it's so big. Whereas like there's some people that's been living with adversity their whole life, so like they can withstand more pressures than others
yeah, that's
naturally.
true.
It's like
That's
my mom.
true.
So my mom probably wouldn't have understood what I was going through because like she had such a difficult life growing up in Nigeria. So
Yeah.
to her, if I say like I lost a record deal and that's what's triggered this, she'll think, "What are you talking about?"
Oh yeah,
You know what I
it's
mean?
true.
Like that's not a big
Yeah.
deal. But I feel like everyone's situation is tailor made to them,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. It
So
does make sense. It does make
yeah,
sense. But I love how you because throughout your book you lost the record deal, but
yes,
you got a record deal and
yes,
you spoke on TED Talks and
yes,
you got flown to America and you
yes,
met Drake.
yes,
You're one of those people that just make things happen.
yeah. No, I'm a very lucky person. Like,
Yeah, you
the
are.
fact.
But yeah, sorry.
No, go on, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but you kind of create your luck because
Yes, no, I do.
you
I
write
do.
and
I
you do
work,
music.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I work really hard. I work really hard. And like things just happen to work in my favor. But my book is it's really a journey about my faith, when you think about it.
yeah,
It's really a journey with my walk with God. Like you actually see me start off with God in the beginning when
yeah,
like I go to the boarding school and I meet my auntie in Nigeria and she takes me to church and I make that promise of God. And
yeah,
then you see me kind of lose my faith when I lose the record deal and things are going wrong.
yeah,
And then you see me pick it back up. I think there's a chapter that says, let's try this again or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
And
I
like,
can't recall. Sorry, I don't
yeah,
want
there's a
to.
chapter that says, let's try this again or something. It's
Okay, yeah,
basically me
yeah.
saying, let's do this again, but differently.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then like, that's when the TED Talk happens, and then I go to New York and
Oh
I get
my
signed again,
god.
and like so everything. So yeah, it's really the book's really like a journey about my walk with God, my faith. Like and everyone can relate to that. We all fall out of faith and fall back
Yeah,
into it.
we do.
And the
I've done that.
poems as well. The poems weave it in nicely.
I love the poetry. It's amazing.
Did you write in it? Did you answer the questions? Did
Yeah,
you?
I did. I wrote them separately so that someone
Okay,
else can
cool.
read the book
Okay,
and
nice,
do
nice.
it. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but the the poem "Don't You Dare," where it
Yes.
says "Don't you dare give up" or "Don't you dare compare
Yes.
yourself to other
Yeah, yeah,
people,"
yeah,
like it's so positive and it's so
yeah,
true. But
yeah,
I was
definitely.
gonna say with your spiritual journey, because in your book you mention about DMT, about
Yes,
schizophrenia being and like it releases a chemical. So
yes.
do you think that it's DMT or do you think it's more spiritual?
Um, I think DMT is the clinical term they've called it,
Yeah.
but I think it is more spiritual. It's got to be more spiritual.
Yeah, because you
Like a
actually
substance
hear
like
voice.
DMT,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's got to be. I think it's got to be, and that's what I mentioned in the book. I said I'm
Yeah.
now learning that people with schizophrenia are more in tune to the spirit world. I did
Yeah.
mention that in the book, but like I think society hasn't learned how to deal with that yet. We haven't had
No.
that conversation. There's people that are more in tune. There's
Yeah.
people that see into other realms, and there's people that hear more things, but they
Yeah.
don't want to talk about it because it's not, um, it's not cool in society to speak about it yet. So they got to keep that to themselves.
Yeah.
But like those conversations need to be had because there's people that has. I had a meeting last week with. Was it last week or a couple of days ago? A couple of days ago, or last week with like these three women, and
Yeah.
their thing is like they try to nurture people's spiritual gifts,
Okay.
and like it was so refreshing hearing that because I've never met people like that, and like
Oh, that's brilliant.
I can imagine how many people out there do have spiritual gifts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they can see things, or they can hear things, or they can do things, and because society doesn't really,
Yeah. Yeah.
they don't have no one to go to, but we need more people like these women that I met that like we need other options because people might not want to talk about this to doctors. And if they
No.
do speak about it to doctors, they'll probably end up being sectioned or something.
Yeah, it's
So they
true.
need like someone else that they can go to that understands and can nurture it. And then maybe
Yeah.
those gifts can help society. Because those
Yeah.
gifts have been given to them for a reason.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I
true.
mean?
It's
You don't just have
true.
it for no reason, but they just
No.
don't know how to nurture it. So it turns into a breakdown, and then you get sectioned, and then you
Yeah.
don't want to speak, and then you become like a recluse. So, like, yeah, but I definitely do believe in like spiritual gifts. I definitely do believe people with schizophrenia are more in tune to the spirit world. Yeah, I definitely believe all of that. Definitely.
Oh, amazing. Interesting hearing your perception because it's
Yeah,
like it's inspiring for me because it's like
yeah,
you honestly reading your book when you talk about the triggers and when you talk even about on the fourth time that you got sectioned, you were aware of your symptoms and you were in
yes,
control of it, which was
yeah,
really inspiring because it's just like,
yes,
wow, that's amazing.
yes,
Because
definitely.
you've been through a journey and you've been able to come out the other side and now you're fully in control, so that's
Yes,
massive, so you
yeah,
should be really
definitely.
proud of yourself.
No, thank you. No, the last time I got sectioned, it didn't feel like a sectioning. It
Oh,
felt like a
okay.
little break. It was the first time out of all the sectionings that didn't feel like a sectioning.
Okay.
Like I was talking to patients, I was taking pictures, I was taking videos, like,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Whereas all the
yeah.
other ones felt like a section. I remember how heavy it felt. I remember not really remembering everything. Whereas this last one, I remember everything. Like,
Oh my
so,
gosh, that's
but that's
brilliant.
only because there was a 6 year gap, which I mentioned in the book. Remember, I got
Yeah.
section 2016. Then
Yeah.
there was like the long 6 years, then 2022 when my mum passed.
Oh,
But within
okay.
that 6 years, I did so much work.
Oh,
I
okay.
did so much like evaluating my story, evaluating my triggers, seeing what went wrong, what's the pattern, how do I keep ending up being sectioned, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
There was like
yeah.
normally a pattern, maybe me coming off medication for like 3 weeks or like there was normally a pattern. So I just
Yeah.
tried to correct all the stuff that I didn't do each time. And yeah, it's worked. Like I'm in the best place I've ever been in. So
So you're like really self-aware and self-conscious, like
100% you
self
have to
and you're
be.
conscious, yeah.
You've got to be. Self-awareness is the key to the whole thing. You've got to be.
And even
Got to
like
be.
because you speak about you've done a you recently released a song called Dear Black Community,
Yes,
which is
yes.
I love it. I've listened to it and it's just
Thank
great.
you.
It's so
Yeah,
again, it's very inspiring. But
yeah,
it's like you say how people the black community, there's a lot of stigma attached
yes,
to mental health and they're not
yes,
likely to come forward.
yes.
Why do you think that is?
Because of shame. It all comes down to shame.
Ah,
It all comes down to shame and judgment. I think
ah,
people on if you was to get people to write out their top fears, on most people's list, their top number one fear is humiliation.
yeah.
No one wants to be humiliated, like having like the
No.
whole world, which it seems like the whole world, but it's not. But having like
Yeah.
all your friends and family like talking about you and what I'm doing is so brave. Well, they say it's so brave because like it looks like I've just come out in front of everyone and just said, "Yo, this is what I'm going through." But like, um, that's because I took the shame away from my situation.
Yeah.
And what helped me take the shame away from my situation is meeting people like you and meeting other people that's been sectioned. And
Yeah.
it made me
Yeah.
realize, like, oh, it's not just me. There's
No.
millions of people around the world that's gone through this. They just haven't spoken about it. But
Yeah.
like we've all gone through this. Like I don't think God will make one person just go through something. That would be
No.
really unfair.
It would
Do you know what I
be
mean?
very
It would
unfair.
be really unfair to have billions of people, but you're the only person going through that thing. The reason why
Yeah.
that would be unfair is because you can't connect with no one to get answers. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
yeah, it's
So
true.
that's torture. That would be torture.
Yeah, it's
So like
true. I
he
think
makes
there's
everyone go through similar experiences so you can meet up together and share solutions and how to get out of it. Hence what we're doing now. We've been through
yeah,
similar experiences and we're having this conversation. And you're going to listen back to this conversation and take something away and be like, oh, yes, what he said there. And then
yeah.
use it to help you. And that's what we're meant to do. We're in the like connection economy. We're here to like connect.
Oh, I love that. And because there is like 1 in 300 people have schizophrenia. So it's a
Yes.
big percentage of people
Yeah.
like so, but also because you spoke about the people on the streets that have got schizophrenia and stuff like that,
Yeah.
what's your perception of people being dangerous who have schizophrenia?
Um, um, it is true.
Okay.
There is a side to it where people can react a bit dangerously or act a bit dangerously,
Yeah.
but it's not all cases. I don't
No.
like when they try group like we're having a normal conversation. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
yeah.
don't like when they try group everyone into that same box.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's not all cases, not every. It's like how there's not all white people are racist.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't
yeah,
group them
yeah.
all into that box. It's not all white people. My auntie's husband's white. I love him with all my heart. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
so it's not all. I don't like when they group it into all one
No,
box.
no,
But
no.
yeah,
Elements of it.
there is elements of it, but it's not
Um,
all. That's not all cases.
do you, because you've had positive symptoms of schizophrenia, like the hallucinations and the delusions and things like that, but do
I
you
wouldn't say
suffer?
that was positive symptoms.
Oh, they call it positive.
Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
They call
I was
it
thinking, what?
essentially.
It might be positive symptoms if you know how to control it and harness it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
when
but
you're
they
going through it, it's not.
no,
It's
it's not
far. Oh my
positive.
god, it's the scariest thing in the world. But yeah, go
Yeah.
on.
But there's also negative symptoms that you deal with
Mm-hmm.
on a day to day, but not you specifically, but that you might deal with, but like lack of motivation, lack of
Yeah,
apathy, and
yeah,
things like that. So, do you experience the negative symptoms?
yes. Do you know what I deal with a lot? That's really scary. Is it disassociation?
Yes, I deal
Yeah,
with
man.
that.
Oh my goodness, that is one of the. If you don't know how to control that and get yourself back,
Yeah,
that can take you like somewhere that you. Do you know what I mean? Somewhere
yeah,
that disassociation is one of the most scariest things when you feel like you're not meant to be here or there's something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
or the
yeah,
world starts looking a bit scary, and it happens like outside
yeah,
in public. I'll just be
yeah.
walking, and then I don't know how I'll just go into that space, but like, yeah, man. And I saw someone posting about it on Instagram the other day, and it just made me smile. That like, not smile that they're going through it, but just smile that we're living in a time where people are actually sharing that.
Yeah,
Because I never
I
heard that
know.
word. I never heard that word till last year.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
never knew
true.
any. Yeah, I never heard, and no one ever mentioned the word disassociation. Never heard of it till last year, and like, and I'm happy that like there's people talking about it because when I started going through it,
Yeah.
um, it was cool that I could go onto YouTube and describe it and like find videos on what I was going through. That was beautiful. That someone had,
Ah,
yeah, there was someone already there with a whole YouTube channel about it,
yeah, but
and
you're doing this. Like you're an advocate, you're spearheading it as well. So people go towards you for this as
yeah.
well. So
But
it's
there's
like,
many other people spearheading.
yeah,
Yeah,
true.
there's like you're doing your thing. It takes a collective. Like there's many other people spearheading as well. Same way that I needed to know about this association, and I found the guy that I found on YouTube. He was spearheading. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
If he
that's
didn't do that,
true.
I would have been stuck. I would have not known what to call it or like how to because it's hard to describe. How do you describe disassociating to
Yeah,
someone?
it's
You know what I
true.
mean?
It's
How do you even
true.
describe that
Yeah, it's true.
without sounding crazy?
Yeah. But
Do you know what I mean?
do you feel like when you speak to doctors and psychiatrists and stuff, do you feel like they understand it? Like, are you good at explaining it or
Yeah,
do you
I
know what I
am.
mean?
Luckily, I'm really good at articulating myself. But
Okay.
I do feel bad for people that can't articulate
I
themselves. It must be
know.
really difficult.
It must be. It
Yeah, it
must
must be really
be.
difficult because you'll be misunderstood. you won't get the correct help that you need. Like
Yeah.
it's really hard. It's really hard.
It is really hard, and people. That's why people end up on the streets and stuff like that,
Yes,
because they're
exactly.
not able to communicate, especially people that can't
Exactly.
read or write, or
Yes.
who have had it really tough. Well, not
Yes.
everyone's had it tough, but like, you know what I
That's a
mean?
good point. I never thought about that. Imagine someone that's experiencing stuff like that can't read or write. How do
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, it's awful. It's
Yeah.
awful, but hopefully with people like you spearheading, then
Yeah.
people that they can listen, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. But so yeah, so you also did a documentary with Alex Beresford,
Yes.
Black
For
Men
ITV.
Can, for ITV, Black Men Can Cry. How was that?
Yes. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have seen it, but it's
Love
not
it.
on there now.
Oh, ain't
So
it?
no, I
Are you
tried to look at it.
sure?
Yeah, I tried to look at it, get to watch it
When? When did you try to look at it?
um yesterday
No, it
or
should
two
be on
days ago.
there.
Yeah, no, it wasn't on there.
Did you
Um,
check under fresh cuts, yeah?
no, I just typed in Alex Beresford,
No, you didn't do it
Black
right.
Men.
No, that's not how it goes.
Okay.
So basically, there's a thing called fresh cuts,
Yeah.
and fresh cuts give 5 opportunities to 5 different directors
Okay.
every year to make a documentary.
Okay.
And obviously, we was part of the 5 this year. So what you do when you go on the ITVX thing
This is good
website or
for the
whatever,
listeners. This is good for the listeners. Yeah.
yeah, type fresh cuts.
Okay.
And when you type fresh cuts, look, then you all the videos will come up. Then look for Black Boys Can Cry, Alex Bereford, and you'll see it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because I
Yeah,
watched it. The reason my friend messaged me months ago
yeah.
and told me to watch it, so I watched it a
Oh,
while
nice.
ago. Yeah, and then I wanted to refresh yesterday, so or a few days ago to refresh it. So, but
Yeah,
I
it's
remember
there.
watching it, and it's like it was incredible because it's your story and you
Yes,
saying to people to speak up
yes,
and not speak up, but like just by being you, you're encouraging
yes,
people
yes,
to speak up, and hopefully people
definitely.
emulate you.
Yeah.
So, but how was the experience? Was it quite positive or?
I was kind of nervous. I wasn't nervous when the opportunity first came through. I was
Yeah,
excited,
yeah.
but then I was nervous when it was getting time to like actually start filming for it. Because I think my
Uh,
auntie said a line to me like, "Oh, are you really going to put your story out on ITV?" And then that just hit me. So it's like, but I don't think she meant it like that. I think she was just generally saying like, "Wow, like
yeah,
you're going to put your story out on ITV."
yeah,
But like that's why it's important to like be careful what kind of information you hear,
yeah,
because like certain stuff can trigger you or lead you astray. Even though she didn't do it on purpose, she was just being genuine. Like,
yeah, yeah,
but like that kind of put fear in me a bit. I was like, "Oh shit, I am going on big ITV to the whole nation." And telling my story. People are going to watch this, and that's my first big television thing. But like, then I started realizing the purpose of why I'm doing it, how much people are going to need to hear my story, and how
yeah.
much people it can help. And then it gave me the confidence again. And then yeah, it was a good experience. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Are you glad you took the step, like
100%. That's the best
ah,
step. That's the best. I tell people all the time. I say this in every interview. That was the best step. That's the best decision I've ever made in my whole life. Yeah, definitely,
ah,
because it led me on such a beautiful path. I would never met you. There's so
yeah.
many people. Yeah, none of this would have happened. I don't even.
No,
It's so funny that like I don't even know what I'll be doing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's such a big part of my life now that like, yeah, I don't even know what I'll be doing, but I'm
But
so happy I took that step.
you've had such a fruitful life. Like
Yeah,
it's been
sorry.
so it's all right, it's been so colorful. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you've experienced highs, you've experienced lows, you've experienced in betweens. Like you've just had such a colorful, and it's all written in your book, a
yeah,
section of
definitely.
my life. So
Yeah,
please, people, cop this off Amazon. It's a great read. I read it in
yeah.
a day. Like it's incredible. So
Please leave a review as well, please.
oh, I
I
didn't leave
need.
a review. I will though. I
Yeah,
will leave a
please, please.
review.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you,
I'll
please.
do that as soon as today. I'll do that today.
Yeah, thank you.
ASAP. But
Thank you.
so what's next for you, Shocka? So you've signed to an agency.
Signed to an agency, so they're going to be getting me incredible work all year long. So
Okay.
like, I'm just excited to see whenever that email comes through. I'm jumping up and down. I'm just excited to see what they get me. So I got the agency work. Then I'm also working with a company called Milk Education. I don't know if I've
Okay.
mentioned that before. They get
No.
people into schools.
Yeah.
So like next month I'll be in Leeds and all over the place. They get people into schools. Then I work with a company called Just Jack.
Okay.
just ask the question. You should go on their website after this actually and check it out. They've
Okay.
got a mental health
Just
website,
Jack. Okay.
and like it's going to be a game changer. So basically, it's called Just Jack. Just ask the question, and
Yeah.
any question you ask, someone will pop up in a video form answering it. So if you
Oh, wow.
say what is schizophrenia,
Yeah.
and someone will pop out and say basically in a video form, which I think is so much more entertaining
Interactive.
than like
Yeah.
interactive than just reading about it. So I'm on there too. So I might pop up if you
Oh,
say it. So yeah, I'm doing
brilliant.
that. Um, the BAFTA Awards is next week. So
Oh
like God
my
willing, the
gosh.
documentary gets nominated. That
Oh
will just
my
make my year. That would be
God.
huge. So like,
That
yeah, we'll see
would
what
be
happens.
massive.
Yeah, that'll be incredible. So we'll see what happens. That'll be game changing. But yeah, next Thursday we'll see what happens.
Oh, brilliant.
I got my album coming out this year.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah, my
you've been so
album.
busy and you're just
Yes,
like, again, it's productive and you're opening
yes,
doors. So
for sure.
honestly, thank you so much for taking the time today to
No
share
problem.
your story and speak about schizophrenia and your journey and
Yeah,
um all that you're doing for mental health. You are a beacon of hope, as I've said before. And I really appreciate you taking the time for I Can Relate because so many people can relate to you.
yes. I love
And
it. I love the title. I love what it's called.
brilliant. Thank
Yeah,
you. And I will leave a review now and on Amazon, but thank
yeah.
you. And I will continue to support your journey
Thank you.
and continue spreading the light because you're blessed,
Thank
definitely.
you.
So
Thank you. And let's catch up. Let's do this. Let's do another episode again. When
yes,
the album comes out, yeah, when a few things come out, let's catch up and see where
yeah,
we're at.
yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
definitely. All right,
All
cool.
right. Take care.
See you
Bye
later.
bye. Bye.
Bye.